Oh, God.
Murder in the morning from the Hidden Killers podcast.
Well, we got a fun one for you this morning. A lighthearted story, as we used to call them in radio. It's one of those kickers. Except it's really horrible. And like, we probably could never even talk about this on the air in radio because it's that bad.
It is that bad. You sent me this morning. I let me tell you a little background. I was in my kitchen. I had a cup of coffee in my hand when you sent it. I had taken a sip and opened my phone. I almost spit it out. It was almost like in the movies in Hollywood, one of those spit takes. I shit you not.
Oh, good. I'm proud of that text.
Good. You should be.
A married British zoologist being charged with raping 42 dogs that he called fuck toys. And this is not just like some weird zoologist guy that's like living off in the sticks by himself and nobody talks to him. Oh, no, he was like on television. He was prominent with some other zoology folks in that part of the world, appeared on BBC and National Geographic, and all of that stuff. The story has sent shockwaves across Australia and the international scientific community. The once revered crocodile expert Adam Britton faces grave charges and admissions of heinous crimes, contrasting sharply with his previous standing as a celebrated zoologist. Adam Britton, originally from West Yorkshire in the UK, relocated to Australia after earning his Ph.D. in zoology from the University of Bristol. His fascination with crocodiles led him to the northern parts of Australia, where he rapidly established himself in the scientific community, partnering with his wife, Erin, a biologist. Britton co-founded Big Gecko, a consultancy supplying crocodile footage to major film and television entities, including industry frontrunners like BBC and National Geographic. However, underneath this facade of professional accolades lie a deeply troubling secret. Since 2014, Britton engaged in the abuse and torture of over 42 dogs, including his own pets.
Oh, God.
And the pets are named Ursa and Bolt, by the way, in case you're wondering. I wonder what those doggies' names are. Ursa and Bolt. You're playing along at home. Using the online platform Gumtree Australia, he deceived unsuspecting dog owners, often acquiring pets from those who are looking for new homes for their animals. Building a semblance of trust, Britton then subjected these dogs to unthinkable cruelty. So it almost looks like he was trying to make it like a no-kill shelter or something.
Yeah, that's what I read.
To exacerbate this, Britton maintained a meticulously detailed record of his transgressions, which also makes this weird. And I said to Stacy off there before we started, I said, you know what makes this really weird is this is one of those stories where you look at the guy and you go, I don't think he'd be fucking his pets. Because most people in the stories that we have to cover where they're fucking their pets, they look like people who would fuck their pets. He doesn't so much.
No, and he looks like somebody that you wouldn't suspect of anything. And not that there is a stereotypical look of somebody who might do something like this.
Of course there is.
But I mean, is there? I
do a little research on that and look up the images of people who've been caught doing their pets.
Oh, God, I don't want to.
See if there's like some sort of line of similarity here. What are you looking up, Tony? I'm trying to do some research here. This is scientific. Back off.
Oh, I've got DuckDuckGo, and I'm not doing an ad for them, and they're not paying for any of this, but it's supposed to not track you. And it's because of this job, because of the horrific things I do look up. Well, I'm trying to not be tracked by Google.
By the way, everything tracks you.
I know.
So, I mean, yeah. He converted, Jesus Christ. As he maintained his records, he converted a shipping container into a space he disturbingly labeled his torture room.
Jesus Christ.
And I mean, this is, I said, I had to say early this morning when I saw this, like, is this a real story? It is.
It is real. It's absolutely real. I'm reading it on the BBC right now.
In this ghastly setting equipped with recording equipment. So there's fucking film of this. Britton not only committed vile acts, but he also, he shared the footage online.
Yeah, it's online.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I am dead serious. I haven't found it. I'm not looking for it.
I'm not looking for. I'm not looking.
Poor Tony is probably sick of me announcing this, but I'm a certified veterinary technician. If this guy were in front of me, he wouldn't fucking be alive right now.
Yeah, he'd probably be dead, and Stacy would be a subject of another story.
That's exactly true.
Podcaster murders dog fucker would be the title of it, and we could do the show via collect calls on the jail phone. Using platforms like Telegram and pseudonyms such as Monster and Serbius, he detailed his actions and even described them with others.
God damn.
Who the fuck there's like a community of this shit out there?
Oh, Tony. Let me tell you, there are, and I hope there's not some sadistic fuck listening to this podcast, which there might be, but there are crush videos out there. There are videos of human beings.
What the fuck is a crush video? What does that mean?
People have fetishes where they like to see animals crushed and killed.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like they watch it for fun?
Yeah, it's there.
Or is it like sexual to them? Are they like getting off on something being hurt?
I think so. Crush videos are like torture videos. Sometimes they will viciously torture and kill animals, crush them like wearing heels.
What?
Yeah, there is a segment of society out there that needs to die.
100%. Wow. Blunt. No, if this is something that one is engaged in, I would highly encourage them to, find a nice bridge.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was such an issue that back in 2010, and I'm reading this, Congress passed and President Obama signed the Animal Crush Video Prohibition Act, PL 111-294.
I had no idea that it was that big of a thing at all. I thought there was just some kind of weirdos here and there that you actually have to have like congressional action. I mean, and I'm sure the congressional action stopped every person who's involved with crushing animals. It's like, oh, well, no, but since Obama signed that, shit.
It made it illegal for platforms to post these videos and feature them. But the dark web exists. They are out there.
Well, yeah,
if somebody wants this shit, it's out there for them to find.
Well, now YouTube just like takes down things it doesn't like necessarily think it agrees with politically. So.
Right. No, so we've gone to a different level, but we've got an element of society that gets off on shit like this, and we know from podcasts and crazy people that abusing animals is always a gateway into something else, something much, much worse.
Or a sign of something worse that they're already doing, too.
Exactly. And this guy that we're talking about was actually into child porn as well.
Oh, God. Why does it? I mean, like what? You go down one horrible road and then you're like, might as well just like take all the detours to the other hellholes, too.
Yeah. Britton also admitted accessing child abuse images online as well. So who knows what else he was doing.
In a recent court appearance at the Supreme Court of the Northern Territory, Britton pled guilty to 47 counts of animal cruelty and several counts related to accessing and sharing child abuse materials. The explicitness of his crimes prompted Chief Justice Michael Grant to advise the public and staff to vacate the courtroom during the detailed presentation of the case, labeling Britton's acts as grotesque and perverse. Grant acknowledged the profound disturbing nature of the evidence. Yeah. So, a lot of people are in shock and disbelief. More so than anyone, his wife, Erin, seemingly blindsided by her husband's malevolence, has taken steps to distance herself, notably changing her surname as a zoologist awaits sentencing set for December 13th. Wow.
Can we watch this one? Can we keep track of this
piece
of shit?
Yeah.
because I want to see him fry. This is Australia, so I don't exactly know what their legal system is like.
They
but,
throw him to the
you know,
crocodiles.
I was just going to say, could we do that with him?
I don't see any problem with doing such a thing. Like, if this is something you're into, it's one of those things that you're not going to break. It's like child molesters and people that are into kiddie porn and that sort of stuff. It's just, it's part of them. It's just not going to change. They're defective human beings.
Yes.
And they're never going to be fixed. And there's really not a lot of purpose for them anymore once that's been unearthed and people find out about it. Yeah, there's not a lot of hope for something like this at all. Yeah, I don't even know what to make of it. I learned something new about crushing videos today. Thanks for that education.
I'm so sorry. And for those of you who didn't know about it, I'm sorry that I shared it, but it's something in the veterinary world that we're acutely aware of. We have to know about it.
Okay. I got a question.
We have to look for signs of abuse.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When you've worked in that world, how often, if ever, did you have a pet being brought in that you realized somebody did their dog or whatever, that, like this guy? Not necessarily 42 dogs being brought in saying this guy did all these dogs, but like one person saying, or like, oh my God, I think, somebody did this to this dog.
I had just started working at the vet clinic. There was a very famous case that actually made it around the world. It went completely viral. There was a German Shepherd that was being abused in Wisconsin that had been killed. A woman had been pouring bleach down its throat, basically to get back at her boyfriend. And she had been journaling about it, about how she wanted to abuse this dog. And I never saw the dog. I was not working for the clinic when the dog had been there. But I saw the aftermath, and she was in jail. She is just a worthless piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Child abuser, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I seen abuse.
I'm
asking,
a
couple cases.
I'm asking specific abuse of somebody having sex with their dog, or someone bringing the dog in saying, "I think my Uncle Ernie, who was visiting this weekend, was getting frisky over there with Lassie."
No, I've heard people joke about it, and we kind of get real serious and look at them and say it's really not anything to be joking about. Mm-hmm. But there would be signs. There would be signs on the animal. You would be able to tell. So if you've got rectal bleeding and that kind of thing, you need to find out why. What's going on? Do we have parvo, or is somebody doing something horrible to this animal?
So it wasn't frequent enough, because you kind of scared me there. Like at the beginning, like, is this really common? Like people are bringing in, although I imagine if people are doing this, they're not necessarily bringing their dog into the vet.
Correct. Where we do find, especially, I'm going to say it out loud, in Wisconsin, we've got some cases of bestiality with horses.
Jesus Christ.
I wish I didn't know that, but there have been some people who have been caught doing things with their horses. Most often, if that's going to occur, you're going to see it with farm animals. You're not going to see it with domestic pets, because it's a lot harder to do with a smaller pet. The bigger the pet, the bigger the animal, you can lock them down, I guess would be a way to say it. So
I don't know. I mean, horses are a large animal, like,
right. And they can kick and do things like that and cause a great amount of damage, but you just don't see it very often with a Cocker Spaniel or a Beagle or a Labradoodle. You don't see it that often.
I'm honestly surprised, because I would think farm animals would be far more. I don't know what fucking we're talking about this like this.
I know.
I would think, logically speaking, that a large farm animal would not be that appealing to someone who's into that, because they're so big and they can kill you. They can overpower you easily. They can just back up and walk over you, and you're done. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's all they have to do. Wow.
But yeah, I've seen some cases in the state of Wisconsin where I was just appalled. I could not believe the news story I was seeing. Like, how is this even possible? Or a cow, for that matter. So yeah, it's out there, and there's bestiality porn as well. It's just, I don't understand what kind of a person does this. There's something horrifically wrong with your brain.
There's something, is exactly what it is. I don't know. Obviously, brain is there, but oh my God. Wow. Well, we've learned a lot today on the program. I hope everybody is satisfied and feels like they're going to have a great day today. Right?
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.